There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dawn, and we are going to cover KW command designs and landing pages today. It is July 9th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So hopefully you'll have some good content that we'll cover today, and you have any questions, we're going to go over that. So because we're doing two sessions in one, I'll do the first half hour, and I'll cover questions as we go. First half hour being designs, and then we'll jump into landing pages. All right, so let me share my screen with you, and we'll jump over to my PowerPoint. Okay, so let me go to my slideshow. Unfortunately, we can't set up, I don't set up a slideshow before. So you should see command designs on my screen, right? Nice and big. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. From your design templates, okay? The design templates, you have lots of options. You have email, landing page, social media, print, agent sites, and video. The thing on this page is that you just find the green button, and right here it's a green plus sign to get you started. So once you do that, you'll get into the next page, which is create design. Okay, I think I had a question that popped up. And so thank you, Jessica. Once you choose the element that you're looking to create, either email, social media, print. We're going to talk about social media today because a lot of us are using social media now for all of our marketing. So we'll focus on that. Once you choose the social media, you hit the next button. It'll take you to this page here on the right-hand side, which are the templates. So you see there are lots of topics that you can use. I'm getting feedback. So you see there's your app, listings, buyer, lead generation, business basics, leadership. There's new designs, check them out once in a while, and then pivot, shift ahead. So there's lots of cool stuff that you could check into. All right, I'm just gonna mute. I'm gonna mute everybody on the call just so that I can roll. Okay, all right, if anybody needs to talk, just unmute yourself. That would be cool. Awesome. So the next page, marketing your listings. So like I said, we're going to talk about marketing your listings today. And on the left side, if you see on my page, it may be little, so you can slide those, slide the bar over back and forth. If your pictures on Zoom are a little bit too big, you can minimize those and see your screen a little better. On the left side of my screen, you'll see that there's several topics under listings. For sale, just listed, price update, neighborhood snapshot, open house, under contract, just sold, and local expert. So they have all of these topics, and inside of each topic, there are different sized templates. So you'll see that there's items for Facebook, Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Each one of those is set and sized properly for that medium. Okay, so that's why there are different topics there. Okay, now finding the template. Once you choose the medium that you'd like to use, which social media strategy you're using, then you can choose the media type and then choose the template. So once you hover over the template, there'll be a little red bubble that says use, and then you can just use that template. Okay, and then once you choose the template, it'll open up to a page like this. And this is your editor. Now, if you've never been in this editor before, there is a learning curve to it. Once you get the hang of it, it's super simple. So those of you who may have been in other design pages and different editors, it works totally different, but it is actually pretty simple. So on the left-hand side, you have images, text, icons, logos, and KWLS. So on the images tab, the company has uploaded tons of stock photos that you can use to make really awesome pieces. You can either choose to use those, or you can choose to use your own images. You can write out of Facebook, out of your Google Drive, out of your desktop, wherever your photos are, you can use them and link them up really easily. I'll show you that when we go live. Then under the text, so the text area, all right, see this is some of the images that you can use. There's your company images, and they're really super, there's tons and tons of material in here. After you choose your images, then you get to your text. And in the text, you can use unique text, just like you would type in any text on the screen. But I thought this was kind of neat because these are called banners. And the banners, you can hover onto any of your photos. So there's lots of little cool things on there. All right, there's also company text, which would be the information of the company, Keller Williams Realty, whichever market center you're working from. If you have you need the address, the phone number, all of that. And then there's also your library, which is your unique text for your information too. Okay, so check out some of those fun text banners. All right, the next piece is the icons. They give you a lot of fun little icons, or they call icons, but they're little pictures that you can throw into your images. So I like the stars. I use the stars on one of them. Here you see the Instagram icon. There's like several hundred things in there, so you can search all those as well. All right, then you've got logos. So on the logos tab, there's a company tab, there's miscellaneous, the doing business, there's labs, there's lots of things. You'll see that you should have the equal housing logos and the National Association of Realtor logos in there. KW Labs for anybody who is techie and wanted to share that on any of your pieces. And then of course you have the company logos, which are stock images. And then you also, I'll show you later, you can add your own doing business logo, which would be your KW Philly doing business as logo, okay? Then let's see, adding listing information. So once you add listing information, you can bring it right over from the KWLS. Now, I use this a lot if I'm hosting an open house for another agent or just even my own. You can find any listing anywhere in the country. So as you see on the screen, I just tapped in Ortley Avenue and it showed the one that's listed. I think it was listed when I first started this. It's no longer listed. And so you can search any address and all of the photos and all of the detail would come in, okay? So then once you have all that information, then you can edit the photos on the image by just clicking the photo, and then you can replace it. And I'll show you how that works when you get there. But you see, this is kind of the stock piece that you start with. It says just listed, it has the highlighted address, and because we use the KWLS to connect all the listing data, I'm going to show you how you can quickly change out all of that information. Okay, so after you add the photos, whatever photos you like, you can add the listing information with the click of a button. Okay, and there are toolbars on the top, so if I don't get to show you right away, there are toolbars, and one of them is on the top left, and it'll show you the file is where you save your piece. And it does auto save every once in a while, so you can just check on that, make sure you do save it. The little clock here is document history, so if you want to see what you've done on that piece, you can. And there's an undo and a redo button on here while you're working. On the right side of the screen, you'll see in the editor where you name your document, so you can just click over that and rename it. And there's a download button, which is identified by the arrow. And there's also now the sharing button. I've used this before, and I've shared things onto Facebook, and I've tested it out. And it shares a link, and that didn't work for me. It wasn't the right fit. I didn't like the way it looked. So I usually download my piece and then upload it into my social media. All right, you can also use the done button if you're complete and you want to get out of that. Over here, you'll see some of the editing tools, and that works with the photos where you want to highlight the photos back and forth. And then also if you want to delete something and then lock something. So those are the toolbars that you'll notice. Somebody asked in the chat box, all listings are just KW listings. Christiana, that's a pretty name. That is all listings. That's listings from everywhere.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yep. All MLSs, all agencies. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now we know over in New Jersey, we know we're not supposed to market properties that are listed by somebody else, but the KWLS has everything in there. So when you're working in your opportunities and you want to use it for commissions, it pulls the data from the MLS from any of those properties. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Good,
Thank you
good
so
question.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so I believe that's, no, there's a download. I wanted to just show you that when you download your piece, your social media piece, you can download it as a JPEG, a PNG, or a PDF. So if you're using like a printed version, you could do a PDF. And you can choose the quality of the item, and then if you have any publishing settings, and then you just start the download. So depending on how you want to use that item, you can choose to use it as a JPEG or PDF, or if you're doing higher quality, you might want to do PNG. All right. So then this is half done. So basically I had the DBA name on the bottom right there. I didn't put my logo on it, but I really just changed out the picture. I changed out the address, and I'm not even sure if that's actually the 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,200 square feet. In our world, we don't really use square footage too often unless we use it from a new construction. So because it's not really accurate in our area. So anyway, that's the finished piece. That's really a social media marketing piece. All right, so that was it for the designs, and I'm going to go live. I'm going to stop the sharing, and we'll go to the live screens. Let me go back over, and I'll take questions if anybody has questions for the moment while I'm switching.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at mine and I can't find, so I see like under logos, I can't find where it says like KW Mainline or KW Philly. I
So
just see.
yeah, you'll have to upload them, and I'll show you that.
Okay, that's
if,
really.
Yeah, if I skip it, please remind me. I should be able to remember within the next few
I wasn't
minutes.
sure if you
Yeah.
said it was already in there or if you had to upload them. Okay, so all
Yeah,
that you have to upload first.
I definitely uploaded my own because, well, first of all, I've been doing this for a year, so there have been updates and changes and things like that. So I did actually upload some because I'm working out of another market center right now. So between the two of them, I have both logos. So I uploaded
Gotcha.
some more. Yeah. So here on the dashboard, if you're not sure where to get to designs, always click the red button. It'll give you the definition of each applet. So we're going to go to designs right here. Okay. And once you're in designs, this will show you the things that you've been working on. As you see right here, that was the one that I showed you on your page on the PowerPoint we just looked at. But on the bottom right-hand side is the plus button. So if you have nothing on there, always look for the green button. That'll show you the next action to take. Okay, so I'm gonna pick social. All right, we're in the next, I think next week we're gonna do, it might be tomorrow, we're gonna work on print and things that you can do for print. But today we're gonna just look at social. No matter which you choose, the editor is very similar. So no matter what I show you today, just know that when we get to the editor, it's all the same. So again, these are templates, and you could go to My Designs, which would show you other things. But what we did before was we went to listings, and then I believe I chose just listed, and I chose one of these. So let me just show you again in a different format. Let me just choose this one with the bubble. You see right here, it hovers a little bubble in red. Just click the use button and it'll open up, and then you can start your editing. Okay, it does open up what looks like a different website, and I like this one because it's kind of clean and nice. So you see here there's images. Okay, app images. The app images are the images of the mobile app, which is kind of neat. You can pop them into things. The lifestyle, some of these are really cool. So there's a lot of lifestyle photos that you can choose. It goes on and on. There's tons of material in here. So lifestyle is like what people do in their, you know, surrounding communities and their neighborhoods and things like that, what they do at home. Like you've got a little girl that's swinging and you've got people at home looking at the laptops. So there's lots of different things in here that they've added. I gotta say, last year when I started working on this, there was not so much in here. The activities, so there's like I think there's beach pictures, there's people at the lake, there's in the snow. So you can change things out based on the seasons too. So that's fun. Let me go back to the little 3 dots. There's neighborhoods and house types. Okay. Let me go to, if I wanted to add a photo, if I had photos that I wanted to use, I could click add photo to drag and drop from my desktop, or I could connect to my Facebook, Instagram, Google Drive, or Dropbox. So just know that that's available to you if you need it. Okay. I think this was one of the logos I was just working on. So let me go back to company and app images. And what I'd like to do is show you how easy it is to change out this photo. So if I wanted to use a different photo, I go to lifestyle, let's say lifestyle at home, and I want to just swap out this photo. And you see on my screen, hopefully you can all see this, there's a plus, there's a little round circle, and then there's the 9 dots, one is background. What you can do just to swap out the photo on the screen, you can just use the replace button, click that, and now the photo totally changes. Okay, so let's do that again. I click on the photo and then I choose one over here, and let's do the kids running. There you go. There's kids running. All right, so it's just as easy as that. All right, let me go back over to text. If you wanted to use text, there's banners. See the little banners? You could choose any of these things. Like you can, let's see. I don't want Merry Christmas. It's the middle of July already. I don't know. Let's just say happy birthday. There we go. I don't know why, but maybe because it was the country's birthday. So you could just pop those in. You can move them around, whatever you want. There's lots of things that you can do. Okay. Now I noticed that that picture kind of went that way, so I can switch that over. All right. And so let's go to the KWLS, because I definitely need to show you that in the next 10 minutes. I want to make sure I get everything in. So with KWLS, I can search a listing. And all I need to do is look at the listing address or the listing number. So the listing address, let me see, 102 Orly. I think this is it. Yeah. So let me select. And now what it's doing is it's pulling all of the documents, all of the data, I should say, as well as the photos into the editor so that I can add that information into the marketing piece. So let's click the photo again, and I want to swap out this, let's say this photo. All right, there you go. I just swapped out the photo. If I didn't like that photo, I click that again, and then I swap it out with something different. Let's see. Let's do, all right, let's just do this. Not the greatest photo. Let's say I don't want this. So what I do is I right click it, let me see, and I cut it. Oops. Cut. I'm clicking things too fast. I don't want this. Let me remove it. There we go. I click the remove button. So now you see I put in one of the listing photos. Now I need to add the date. See down here really is hard to see. I can move this address up here. Okay, now that I have the address, I'm going to go over to listing details. And I'm going to find the address. You see the address is over here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to use the replace button, and now the address will show up right here, 102 Ortley Avenue, Lavalette. So that was simple, right? So I changed the photo and I changed the address. Now I should just go check how many bedrooms. There's 4 bedrooms, so I can go over here and I can change this to 4. Oops. All right, so let me delete that and change it to 4. And how many bathrooms? There's 3, so I can just go here and change this to 3. Okay, you get the idea, right? If I don't want the square footage, I double click that. I go up to the right-hand side. You may not see this if those Zoom photos are hiding it, and I just remove it with the little garbage can. If I don't want square foot, I'm going to remove that too. All right, that's it. So if I have something else that I want to put in there, I can put it in there. Let's see. Is it waterfront? Let's just put waterfront in here. It's kind of the weird way to say it. And I would probably, if I were doing this for real, I would put it somewhere else. All right. Just listed waterfront. Okay. So you see how you can really move things around. Now here's the price. And I'm sure this is more than 400,000. Oh, it was a rental. So here you go. You just replace it and it's 3,000 US dollars. That's a rental. So I'm going to change the USD and I'm going to put per week. Okay. There you go. The DBA name. So let's go over to the logos. We had a question on the logos. So what I did is I uploaded my logos, company and library. I uploaded them before. So here we go. I need the West Monmouth logo. So I click here and I go to West Monmouth and I just replace it. I just move it to wherever I need. Ah, you see something here? This logo is a PNG. It doesn't show up over there. It shows up over here. So I can click and move that to that space. Okay. So this is the editor is kind of interesting. You just click and drag, and you can move things all over the place. Before I close out, I have about 6 more minutes on this module. Do you have any questions or things you want me to see or want me to show you? I think somebody asked about adding images.
Don, if we wanted to say, for example, we saw something that we really liked through, I don't know, Compass, Lord forbid, or any other applicator or flyer that comes out, we can also import that document directly to this, and then through, what is it, Canva, Canvas, you can also manipulate it on here as well, correct? So it's not just limited to what we have available through the design template library?
Right. There's a lot. You could upload all kinds of things.
Okay.
They have added so many pieces to the library that, you know, there's hundreds and hundreds of pieces. So there's likely something that's just as good. If there's something that you wanted, yes, there are ways you can upload PDFs and things like that and work with them, images.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree. I'm a little selfish. I'm just looking at it from a recruiting perspective so that I fully understand it in case they say, well, I really like how this company did it, or if, you know, I'm up against a separate competitor from a recruiting perspective, we can come in and, you know, dialogue with them and show how we can directly import and then just make it our own if in fact there's ever anything that they, you know, for example, really like.
Yeah, I believe it's on a couple of previous pages from here. And let me look at that at the end and I'll double check, because you can, here's the little upload button, drag and drop an image here or click and browse. You can upload right here. So whether it's an image or a PDF, you're likely to do it right here.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. So once you're done with your piece, you want to make sure that you saved it. So you just hit the save button, and you notice over here on the right side, it says just listed 04FB, whatever that means. And I would want to restate that and say just listed 102 Ortley, right? So I know which house it is. I'm going to save that again and say it, so it says auto saved, and then I would click the download button. And this is kind of funky. When you're hovering over here, it goes back and forth like this. So you just hit the download button and it will download whichever you choose, the PNG, the JPEG, the PNG, or the PDF. The PNG, you can actually do transparent background or download quick preview, whatever you'd like to do. Start the download. You'll see that it pops up on your screen on the bottom, and then you can pick it up off your downloads right off of your desktop. Okay, so any other questions that you have in reference to designs? I went through pretty quickly. Let me just check and see if there's anything in the chat box that I need to address. Okay. I'll give you another couple minutes. There's, let's see, icons. We went through icons. We went through text. Oh, here's another little weird thing. Here's a couple of icons if you want to put the little phone number. You can put the phone number over here, or the phone icon, and then if you want to put your text for you, my library, my text, I want my phone number, which is right here. I can click that and it'll pop in over here, and I can just drag and drop it this way. And in our state, we must identify. Come on. Sometimes getting your cursor into the middle of that text box is a little challenging, and I need to open this up so that it fits. Oh, here's something else I wanted to show you. While you're hovering inside a text box, there's a toolbar up here on the top, and you can choose the opacity and the color. So let's say I want that in red. I just go here and I click it in red. If I didn't like that red, I could go and choose a different red or a different color, and I can pop it in here and apply it. All right, and it'll choose that color. I know that's a kind of dark color, but you can fix that any way you'd like. There are toolbars just like you have in Word and some of the other editors that you know of. Bold, italics, so if you want to go bold, italics, you can do that. Underlines, anything you need to do. Change the cases and the letters, bullet points, text alignment, and spacing. So there's lots of editing that you can do with this. All right, so let's say, here's another thing I wanted to show you. We have another minute before I switch over to the other topic. And let me go back to KWLS photos. All right, back. If I want the photos, oops, where'd it go? All right. And let's say I wanted to superimpose another photo in here. Let me do another photo. Let's see. They're also busy. Let me just choose this one. I can add an image. And I just add that, and now I can make that image smaller. Okay, click the image, make it smaller, and now I can superimpose it over here, right? I can then work with the opacities or reposition. So if I want just that photo, I can look at that way. I can change how dark it is or how light, so you see how it changes there. Some things you might you can do that with, and it looks kind of neat. It depends on what you do. So if you change the opacity in the background, that might work better. So you make the background one thing, and then you can do the front foreground in a little bit higher opacity, and then you have it looking like that. Make it bigger. So you play around with it. It's a lot of fun. All right. So, and then every time you change something, you always make sure that you save it. All right. Any other questions on that? I think I showed you just about every task in there. All right. So let me switch over to the landing pages. And switch over. All right, switching gears. Let's go to my slideshow here. Come on, slideshow from the beginning. All right, command landing pages. Has anybody actually done landing pages yet? Oh, Joshua, you haven't?
I'm relatively, new to that aspect of it.
Awesome.
I've toyed around with it a little bit, and I've delved in. We just made the hard switch over to command, and with me coming on, not years ago, it's still kind of a moving target for me, but it's something that I've toyed around with and I'm excited to learn more about. That's for sure.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, we made the hard switch over to command last month, and I'm feeling your pain.
I know just enough to get me in trouble right now.
Yeah,
so
right. I know Steve's like, what do you mean switch over, right? Steve's like, this is all I know. So you don't have to. So see, you're ahead of the game. You don't have to relearn all these other things.
Yeah, I got in right as it was
Yeah.
changing over from Dotloop.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so as far as landing pages go, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you go to your marketing profile in your command settings. So I have a couple of screenshots here. When you're in command, you go to the right side and look at settings on that drop down. Oh boy, I don't think he knows his. Sorry, Greg's on another call in the other room and his phone's ringing. So anyway, so go to your settings right here. The settings will bring you over to the next page. When they show up on the left side, you'll see the marketing profile, okay? Once you get to the marketing profile, this screen on the right-hand side will show up. And then go through the entire page. It's very long. Take some time to go through it, make sure that your own photos in there and all the details of your name and your company address and your bio and where you're concentrating all your business, you know, all those little things that are important as an agent, right? And let me just see this. Yes, the slides will be sent to Katie after class. All right, cool. The one important thing, or actually there's two important things on this page, okay? You see here, there's a team logo. Now, if you are not on a team and you don't have a team logo, don't upload anything, because I did this a long time ago, and you see, I can't delete it. So what happened was I uploaded my photo up on top, and then since I don't have a team logo, I uploaded the same photo. And what happens is on some of the web pages and some of the marketing pieces, you get a big photo and a little photo, and it looked really weird. So I didn't like the way that looked, so I created a team photo. Now the team logo, what I did in Canva, it's square, so sometimes when you have a round piece, it looks square, it still kind of looks a little weird. So do yourself a favor, if you're not on a team, don't worry about the logo, okay? The other thing that's important on this page, this is really, really important. Click this button and make sure that it's green, because if you don't, your website will not be viewed online, okay? So that's two important things on this page. So that's your first thing. Make sure your marketing profile is done. That will be the foundation for all of your marketing pieces, okay?
Just real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, and if you haven't, you guys can go through the Scott Leroy questionnaire, which I can put the information in the chat box, and he can handle all of that stuff for you, if in fact you haven't already. Most of us I know have, but if you're looking to continue to expand on it, I'll put that information in there.
He's got a great service. We use them too for all 6 of our market centers. Yeah, perfect. A lot of agents are using him, and they're all calling about DocuSign right now. All right, awesome. Let's move on. Consumer applet options. So remember, if you're not sure where your the definitions of the applets are, just click that red button and it'll open up. So you want to go to consumer. It's all the way on the bottom right-hand side. It's the last one that's activated right now. The listing consultant will be coming soon. So you want to look for consumer, okay? And once you're in that page, you'll see on my screen, I have a lot of landing pages already done. And then there's also an area for your agent site pages, your guide builder, which it connects you with your mobile app, and then your site and app settings. And then this is how you create a new site. The other thing I wanted to ask you, why would someone want to use a landing page? What do we use this for? Anybody want to take a guess or shoot me an answer?
For our Facebook marketing campaigns.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else? That's one great reason. So here's, let me give you an idea. Awesome, you got the Scott Leroy marketing piece. Okay. So one of the other things that we do is I use them as an open house guest list. Okay, so along with the Facebook ad marketing, if I'm running an open house, I'll create the landing page for the open house and I'll use that in my Facebook ad. Or you could use a just listed ad and shoot it out there. It does have a lead capture system. So especially now with the COVID restrictions, you could use basically a hands-free type of sign-in. So what you could do is take the URL, take the link, and send it in a text message to the people that are coming in to the open house and have them log in before they enter. That way you're capturing their data. So that's another way to do it. So it's contactless open house guest list. So just another side note. The other thing is that this is a value add for your sellers. When you're at a listing appointment and you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in my marketing plan, one of the things that I'm going to do as soon as I get back with the signed listing agreement, I'm going to prepare our single property website so that once we are fully marketing your house, it will be live and ready to go. So it's another value add in your marketing pieces, okay, in your listing presentations. All right, so the next page after you start create a new site, the page type. So you'll get to this page. A lot of people send me text messages and they say, what do I do? If you're only doing a landing page is a single standalone site. So you're going to click standalone and you're going to create the page. Okay, so that's it. And then you're going to start building the landing page. Once it opens up to this page, people look at me, they're like, oh my God, what do we do now? So several things on this page. On the top, this is where you name it, and you can edit it by clicking the little pencil. The middle is where your web page is going to be built. And on the right, these are the widgets. They call them widgets. And you're going to move them to the left and it'll start building the page. So the widgets are there so that you can build the content, okay? I'll show you how that works when we get to the live version in a few minutes, okay? You're gonna name the page, use the widgets, preview all the device types. So on the left-hand side up here, there's a desktop version, iPad or tablet version, and the phone version of what your page would look like. Okay. There's different ways that you can, different things, toolbars up here on the right hand side. You could save your landing page when you're ready and then publish the page will show up when it's all done. Down here on the bottom is the configure widget button. So each time you add a widget to your page, you would have to configure it. We're going to go through that in a moment. So see, this is where you configure widgets. Each one of the things that you add to your page, you're building a website. So guys, you're web developers now, right? Each one of them has a checkbox, and you'll see some of them are gray and some of them are green. That means that information is already included in this widget, but I always check them just to be sure that it's what I want to say on that page, okay? And then once everything's done, you would click save, of course. All right, and then this is what the landing pages look like on your dashboard. When you see these, there'll be a status. They all show up as active. It'll show you the URL and then the date you created it. And on the right-hand side are the 3 dots. And this is where you can actually edit the URL. So the unique address, right? You can change everything after the number. So you see it's my name and a number. Those have to stay there. Everything after that / can be changed into something that you would recognize. Like this one says open house. This one says virtual open house. Okay, so that's how you would do that to customize the URL. All right, and then you could preview your landing page. So you see this actually had pictures of another house that I was working on as the landing page, and this one had a really nice picture on it. So let's, what I'm gonna do is switch over my sharing to go to the live version again. So does anybody have questions while I switch over? All right. Let me go back to one. Sometimes I have to just go back into the command dashboard. All right, you see my command populating now? Yes, yes, okay, good. All right, so here we go. We're going to go over to consumer sites. All right. And we're going to create a new site. So on the top right-hand side of the page, you're going to see create a new site. If you can't see it, it might be hiding behind those Zoom photos. All right, and then you're going to click a standalone page, create page. And up here, we could change the name. Not really sure what I'm going to change it to yet, but you see that this is all a blank screen. So here's the things that I like to put on a landing page are my branding, first of all, the listing, especially if I'm highlighting an open house or a single property website. I like to put in a lead capture form, and then also my download my app widget. So at least those 4. You could choose to do any that you want. So here I'll show you how fast and easy it is. You click and drag. So I like the branded header on the right-hand side because the other one is a lot bigger and it takes a lot more of the page. So I like people to see what they're looking at right away. So I click and I drag that over, and you see there's a green line that hovers on the top. It's showing you where you're going to drag and drop that item. Okay, so that's my builder. All right, that's my branded header. Now I need the listing, and what we're doing now is we're just building the blocks, and then we're going to do the content after. So let me click and drag the listing block over, and it's going to go underneath my branded header, and I can see that because that's where the green line is, and I drop it right there. And now you see this is the block where the listing would show up. So the first block is the pictures, then you have information about the property, the carousel of photos that will show up here, details and features, and the map will show up below. Okay, now this is where it gets a little tricky because when you're dragging in the next widget, it is harder to see where it's going to drop. So my next widget that I want to show is I want the lead capture form. So grab the lead form and bring it over, and I'm going to drop it down towards the bottom, and you see there's a spot where it goes to the little round circle. I have to drop it right before that. Okay, once I drop it, I can then scroll down and see that's my lead capture form. All right. Then I want to go to my download my app button. I do the same thing, drag and drop. Okay, and you see that green line is changing, and you just drop it there. And now you'll see right under there is download the KW app. Okay, any questions on that? Because that's that kind of throws people a little bit. That's you're building the content, or you're building the site, and then we're going to do content. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to add lead capture that requests their info before logging into the page? I don't think we have a requirement. I have to look into that, Christina. Certainly if you're doing an open house and you want them to log in, you'll get a lead notification through Kelly that they logged in. Okay, so you can definitely monitor that if you're doing an open house and you're doing a login. Okay, so the next thing I need to show you is configure widgets. There's other content blocks and other layout blocks, but I'm showing you the easiest and fastest way to create a website. If you want to get real techie and real you'll get into design, you can work on content blocks, which can add all of these things. And then, whoops, I went into the wrong one. Hold on. And then layout blocks. So you could, there's so much that you could do here. We're just going to go to configure widgets at the moment. So you see, I have 4 widgets, the branded header, the listing, lead form, and download my app. I go into each one of them. And if you can't see them, move those Zoom photos over off the right-hand side of your page. Okay, branded header. Now I can add a header text. I'm going to add the address to this. So 102 Ortley Avenue, Lavalette. And you see there's only 30 characters that you're allowed in this space as a header. Once I click the save and apply, it's going to show up on the screen. This is the photo that I'm using right now, I have my name here, my phone number, my email address, and I have the team logo here. I can dump that if I don't want it. But you notice that the team logo shows up over here, so I'm going to leave it. So I save and apply. And once I do that, you're going to see the Ortley Avenue address show up. And then I'm going to go to the next widget. Now, it's all the way up on the top right-hand side of your screen. It says 1 of 4 with an arrow. So I'm going to hit that arrow and go to the next widget, which is the listing. Now, again, we're going to browse listings. And Joshua, this is really cool. If you're working with recruits, you can show them that we can add any listing in here, no matter who showed it, right? Or who listed it, right? So let's look. 102 Ortley Avenue. Which one is this is actually by a different company, so I'm just going to throw it in here for argument's sake. All right, did I just, this seems to have slowed down like greatly all of a sudden. What happened here? Oh, isn't that fun? That's just so much fun when things happen like that. All right, there we go. Publish the page. So it took a minute for all the MLS photos to pull in. Now you see that we can choose, they're really tiny on your screen, but we can choose any photo from this listing to be on the header of this website. So I'm just going to use the one that's highlighted, and I'm going to save and apply. Okay, now all the other photos are going to be in the carousel. Come on, save and apply. There we go. It's having a heat stroke right now, like I am. Okay, I'm going to go to the next widget. Okay, and the header text. So now this is, let's just say that I'm going to use this for the open house, and I'm going to say, please sign in. Open house.
Don, I'm sorry, real quick, on the previous page, did all of the other photos import as well at the bottom so that they could scroll?
Yeah, actually they did. So let me
Okay, so it's
show
not
you.
just that one.
Right.
Got
so right,
it.
Yep, and they're on the carousel.
Perfect. Sorry to interrupt.
Yep, no worries. Cool. All right, so let me save and apply the header text, and that was for the header of the lead capture form. So you'll see, it should be down here. There it is. Oops. Scroll. See, I just changed this to please sign into the open house. And then I'm going to go to the last widget, and it says download the app. So I can say access homes with the free app. Okay, and I can actually change the subtext. I can say look at the beach homes through the free app, whatever you want. Okay, and then download, and that's my direct URL, and that's from the marketing profile. And here we go, save and apply. Okay, so that was it. Now my page is done. I can save it if I wanted to do landing page, the name. Okay, 102 Ortley Ave training July 9. Okay, and then I save the landing page just by clicking that button. Yes, save it, and that was it. So it really took me what, 5-10 minutes maybe to pull all that together while I'm teaching a class. Okay, so it says I haven't published it yet. So I'm going to go over to the 3 dots. I'm going to edit it. Okay, because I clicked the save and not the edit, not the publish button. And once it populates, I should be able to publish it. Okay, so now the publish button is highlighted in green. I can click the publish button, and now I'm going to say yes. And it's successfully updated, and it shows up here as a, see this crazy URL, BS3L1I9, whatever. It's a really long URL. What we can do is if you don't want to use a bit.ly, you can change it here. So change the URL, and you can change only what's right after that / and I can say 102 Portly open house. Okay, and then create it. And then once I look at, if I wanted to republish this one again or use it in a Facebook ad, I can just go back and reuse this. All right, now let's just look and see what it looks like. I'm going to click that link and it will open up. And that's what the link looks like. Actually, how about I do this? I'll put it in here so you can see it. Now remember, I did this in 5 minutes, right? So that's what it looks like. And then there's your download your free app. All right. What do you think?
It looks great. It would have taken me much longer than the 5 minutes to completely dial that in.
Well, hopefully that'll help get it done quickly. It does take a little bit of learning with the widget and the, you know, how to figure out, like when this first came out, like last summer, I had no idea what I was doing. You know, that's why I'm one of those early adopters. I get in there and I start, you know, breaking stuff. So it took me a little while to figure it out until there were some people that wanted to train it, right?
So after the home has sold or you've written and executed the contract, you would just go back in and unpublish it or deactivate?
Well, technically, I haven't deactivated any of these. And
if you wanted to or needed to. Okay.
Yep. So I could deactivate right from here. I could delete it. I could remove the custom URL or change it. Yeah, so you can change any of those.
Wow, that's great.
So tell me, we did a lot of content in 60 minutes. What did you guys hear? What did you like? I'm gonna switch the sharing button so I can see all you beautiful people. That didn't show me your faces. I appreciate you two guys. You, Steve and Josh, thanks for being here with me. So does anyone have questions, or could you tell me what you got out of today's class that was helpful or a new information for you?
I guess my question is, what are some other useful things besides, you know, having your listing on there for a landing page, like making a landing page?
So you could, if you were doing an email blast, or if you were sending a direct email to, you know, maybe a new lead and they wanted to see some information, you could use just that direct link to that one property. I have a couple of people. So down in the beach areas, we have a lot of seasonal rentals. That might be really helpful information. So they might have the weeks that they're available, and they might want to just publish that page to people that ask about the rentals. So there's a lot of different things that you could use for just that property. And Josh, there's a lot of things you could use for recruiting, right?
Yeah, that was a big takeaway. I think, you know, even hosting events and getting the name out there and having a sign up or, you know, a lead capture for various, not only open houses, but I mean, we do a lot of awareness events. We do a lot of, you know, I know some of the newer agents like to hold and partner up with real estate or mortgage professionals so that they can have kind of a buyer's seminar and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I think that is an amazing addition to any listing and or buyer's presentation. Well, I guess not so much the buyers, you'd be utilizing your website more than anything, but from a listing presentation perspective, I think that's a no-brainer and something that is tangible that creates value in their mind immediately, right out of the gates.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're working with, let's say even a for sale by owner, and you share something like this with them, like this is something that we make for our sellers, you know, like how awesome is that? The other thing that people do is they, if they have they want testimonials, they're using the testimonial widget to pull their testimonials in. So they might brand either a certain listing, or maybe they're not even using a listing. Let me go into let me go into the edit version, and we'll go into the widgets again. I know I'm not sharing the screen just yet, so let me just flip it over. We have a couple more minutes on our call. All right, so let me switch
And
this
what's
over.
your like? What's your? Is it you just go through social media? Is that how you promote the page? Is that your main source or?
Yeah, so on social media, certainly with Facebook, you can send that out to, direct, let's say, geographic areas, or you could target market and send this out on your ad campaign, and
Yeah.
then have a lead capture. That's the awesome part of it, is that's the lead capture form. That's how we're getting leads for, like, I don't know, 25 cents a lead.
Okay, so from that ad campaign, you'll put. Okay, okay. I see.
Yeah. So here is the testimonial capture form. So if I wanted to add that, I just click it and drag it over, and I could pop it in between here. There's a headline text. So, like, you could send this out. Here's a cool thing. After you have, or you could even put this on your main webpage or wherever. You'll see that it says it's not configured yet. Testimonial capture. So basically you could put in here the team name. So whatever team name, or your own. Okay.
Dawn, I have a 2 o'clock. I'm going to jump off. Thank you so much. You rock. Great information.
Thanks,
See you same time, same bat channel tomorrow.
Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks for coming, Josh. Appreciate it. All right. So for anyone else who's hanging on the call, this is where you do the testimonial page. So it says, like, thank you for being a valued client, and to help me continue to provide service. You can change this to whatever description you want. How would you rate your experience? And then you can save and apply. And then over here, it's in gray. It was in gray before. Now this is what the customer would see. You could actually send this out as a main page. So if you always have a testimonial page, you can create just a testimonial page. So something about your group, something about you. You could have your mobile app on there. You can do all kinds of stuff, and you can just add widgets as you go. So if you wanted to add more widgets, find out any of these widgets, the market snap widget of video. So maybe you have a video of the area that you serve. So there's a lot of cool things in there that you can work with. All right, so I hope this was of value to all of you at KW Philly, and I see that a couple of them had to go. So I hope that you guys got something out of today's class, and that you could take with you and work on it and really build your business in a great way. So, and a couple of these things are helpful even now with COVID and being safe and secure. Thank you all for coming and for being here today. I'm going to stop the share button and just say goodbye. All right. And if anybody wanted to say anything, I don't think you're muted.
Thank you very much. It was a wealth of information.
It was a lot today. I did 2 in 1 class. So yes, James, thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. All right. See you later.